Uh, Hi there, it's Nick again. And I don't know what it is about stupid o'clock at night, but there's something about this which kind of like makes the mind turn. And it's just like, it speaks to me about this time, this issue, you know, that I had a certain long period of time ago. And I listened carefully to all the things which I'd heard and all the things that was said to all the people around me. When I took them on board and I liked what they said, and it gave me hope and it gave me encouragement and it gave me a feeling that things were moving in a certain direction. And I followed these people's customs and these people's ways. And after a period of time, even though I didn't know it, but their words were coming out of my mouth. But strangely enough, without thought. And that was when things started to get weird. I looked at myself, and I looked at what I was wearing, and I looked at the jewellery I had on, and I saw myself for a brief second, just like that, as if it was from the outside. And I thought to myself, you look like a complete and utter nutter. And that's when I realised the truth. I actually was a complete and utter nutter. And then I had to work out why I'd become such a complete and utter nutter. And then I had to find a way of capitulating. This is what humans tend to do in their lives, don't they? You know, you make a mistake at one point in your life, and then you spend a period of time kind of like going back on it because you suddenly realised how terribly, terribly, terribly wrong it was what you did or what you said when you were in that mania, when you had those beliefs, when those particular ideas were dominating your consciousness. That moment when I looked at myself and I saw what I was turning into, and I thought, why on earth was I doing this? I could see in my character the way it was developing. It seemed to be a combination between someone from a child's storybook maybe, mixed in with subjects associated with my own dreams and visions and aspirations that I wanted the rest of the world to follow because I was right and they were obviously wrong. Well, I was right in some ways. Well, in fact, there was a percentage of my... I was... Okay, well, it wasn't like I wasn't 100... I believed I was right. And I believed I was so right that I was allowing these ideas to dominate my waking consciousness when I was with other people. Things slipped out in conversation into support of this thing which I had built up in my mind as being so, so, so important. And it wasn't necessary, nor was it appropriate to, and there was no purpose to it. But yet I did it. And people looked upon me in a very strange way. And I couldn't see why. Because in my eyes I was right. And I was right because I was doing or following the ways of language and the forms of communication that these people had shown me and demonstrated in their little groups which I had joined. Their words coming out of my mouth inappropriately. Why? Their ideas slipping out of my mouth in times when they should not. Why? What was I becoming? I wasn't becoming what I thought I was becoming, but I could only become what I wanted to become when I stopped looking like I was trying to become it. I had to lose a lot of the ideas and imagery that I built up. I had to let go of things. See things differently. Sure, I held on to a few things. Things that I thought was actually right that I had learned from that time. And they're still with me. But a lot of the rest just had to go. And that time in a person's life, when they're in that particular juncture, is unbelievably painful. But it has to be done. You have to be pulled out of it and into clarity. And the entire history of this YouTube channel is basically about that. And bringing people away from this one particular screwed up mess that they get themselves into when they're trying to find a particular truth, or to try and make the world a better place in one way or another. That's why I'm here, mate. Alright? That's what Nick Dutch is about. Hold on to the stuff which is real, but throw the rest away. Because there's stuff there which you don't know it's harming you, but it is. This entire channel is based upon people who are going through that one particular stage, and to help you to make the right decisions in terms of your thinking. Yes, there is a real genuine spiritual force there, but there's so much delusion. You've gone and picked up the delusion, not the search for the truth, which means you haven't actually fulfilled, as it were, the preliminary requirements of the traditions of magic, to be a diligent researcher into nature, and not just someone who becomes a bit of a religious nutter. And it's me saying that to you. Go on. Speak to you in a bit.